There we go. Hello? Is this better? Can you hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Sorry. It seems like after I came back, everything on my computer just decided that it either needed an update or just decided to undo itself. And that includes my mic, apparently. How are you guys? Hi. Long time no see. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been about 2 weeks, which is how long I said I would be gone. But, who knows with emergencies, right? So today I'm planning to do some doodling, and then we can talk about things that I've been up to on my 2 weeks away. And what else? Yeah, this kind of stuff I'm doing kind of like a Christmas doodle for friends. I don't think they're subscribed to me, so it doesn't matter. If they are, I'll be very surprised, but I don't think they are, so I can do the art here. Hi, Boogie. Hi, Say. Hi, Bella. I was not too locked in, okay? I saw your messages, and then I had to duck under my desk to like re-plug in my mic and everything, and then readjust, and blah, 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 blah. 2 weeks for the 2 days away from the next cookie run update. Oh, no. Listen, I was not able to do anything on my 2 weeks, because you guys know how it is, right? In, the moon with 5 stars. Ooh, 1 week vacation, say, and just did stuff around. Honestly, sometimes it's good to just take some time off to get some stuff done. Because it feels like as an adult, sometimes life just kind of revolves around work and everything to the point where I'm like, I don't have time for chores. Daily Ruko, I'm back! Oh my gosh, my time away has been, oh my god, it's been something. You won't believe. I don't know if you guys saw my posts, right? The one where I was like, if you guys hear anything happening, I swear it wasn't me. Let me just tell you that where I was not the one in danger. I was. I've never, oh my gosh. Like, I thought I would be okay because I was going to be hitting up, like, the homeland. I was hitting up the homeland. But no, the culture shock hit me. It was very different. Because, let me tell you, I'm very much a city bun, okay? Like, I belong in the city. I grew up in a city, where I can basically reach whatever I want. But the hometown, that's in the country. That's in the countryside. So, yeah, girl had a hard time adjusting, let's just say. You have more tests, Bella? Good luck! You got this, I hope. At least I hope you got this. How'd you go back? I had to go back! To be fair, it wasn't really like my roots, it's my parents' roots, but at the same time, like, the last time I was there, I was but a little kid, But so it's been rough. But okay, we had a layover, so I basically had to spend almost like 24 hours just getting there. I had to basically spend 20 hours just getting to where we needed to go. And that was a wild ride in and of itself, let me tell you, because my dad, he's such a type A, type B person. I don't know if you guys know what that means. Like, he's a like type A people are the people who plan for everything and they're the ones who like schedule everything and whatever. And type B people are more like me, where we don't plan, we just go with the vibes. So sometimes it feels like, so my dad does plan things, so he's quite type A in a way that, you know, he likes everything to be planned out. He likes to know where, who, what, where, when, why. But he's also kind of type B in that if something, well, no, let's just call him type A. Because, yeah, once something goes differently than expected, he panics. And I'm like, okay, you know what? It's an easy fix. Just go ask someone. And he's like, no, I need to ask. I need to talk to a family member. I'm like, yeah, but you can just talk to an attendant, you know? But he's like, no, I must ask your uncle what I should do. And I was like, but there's an attendant right there. But yeah, it was kind of frustrating just getting around the whole airport situation. You know, Bunny Express. But okay, he also told us, right? When we were packing, he was like, oh, you don't have to pack anything. Where we're going, it'll have everything we need. So you don't need to pack anything. So I trusted him. I didn't pack anything. I didn't pack towels. I didn't pack, well, I packed a toothbrush. I don't know why out of everything I packed just a toothbrush. But I didn't have towels. I didn't have shampoo. I didn't have body wash. I didn't have, what else didn't I have? But yeah, I didn't have any of that. And then we got to our inn, and there was none of that. There was none of that. We had a whole stream about what to pack. Okay, I packed my essentials, okay? I packed like my charger. I packed, you know, I packed my cables. I packed my charger. I packed my clothes. I packed my accessories. I packed everything. But you know, like with the whole like towels and everything situation, because we're going so far, I was like, do I really need to pack like bath towels and everything? Because like usually when you think like a hotel or an inn, they usually have bath towels, right? So I was like, so that's why I asked my dad. I was like, do I need to pack bath towel, or where we're going, will they have bath towels? And he's like, oh, no, you don't have to worry about like all the toiletry stuff. They'll have it all there. Biggest mistake, like the first mistake I made that trip was believing my dad. That first mistake was believing my dad, because they had none of that. They barely had toilet paper. They barely had toilet paper. Let that sink in for a moment, okay? No TP. Okay, there was like a teeny tiny roll of TP. Like when you think of like a roll of TP, you think of something like this, right? Like, you know, like that, right? Like that's what you kind of expect TP to look like. But no, we got there, and first of all, the washroom was like a wet washroom. Like if you guys don't know, it's kind of like what you see on TV in Japan, where it's like you have the bathroom. Hold on, let me. Kind of like how you have the bathroom, if this was the bathroom. Like the sink was here, like this is the door. The sink is here, and over here is the toilet. And then over here is the shower. So there's no separation between the shower and the toilet. So that means if you take a shower, your toilet paper might get wet, depending on where you're spraying the water. So the toilet paper actually wasn't in here. So when I first went into the washroom and there was no TP, I was like, uh-oh, what do we do? There's no toilet paper. But then my mom came into my room and she's like, oh no, there is toilet paper. It's like on your nightstand right by your bed. So here's the nightstand outside the room, might I add. And if this is what we expect toilet paper to look like, this is what their little thing of toilet paper looked like. Like, they gave us this much toilet paper. That was about as much toilet paper as they gave us. So I was like, and I'm sharing the room with like 2 other people, with like my 2 sisters, and I'm like, this is not gonna be enough toilet paper for like 3 of us. Yeah, exactly. It's next to nothing. And like, you would think that having no toilet paper, it would kind of be like, oh, maybe the bathroom's a bidet. No, it was not a bidet. It was just a regular bath. It was a regular toilet. So I would need the toilet paper. Luckily, right? I have family there still in the homeland. So they were actually able to bring over some toilet paper for us that first day. So shout out to my aunt. Thank you for saving this city girl. So we eventually got toilet paper. And I was sharing like I said, I was sharing a room with like my 2 sisters. Luckily, there were 3 beds. Hi, Fuku. Hello. But yes, there were 3 beds, which is pretty lucky because, you know, like usually if you're sharing a room with someone's probably like on a couch or on the floor, or like 2 people are bunking or 3 people are bunking. But no, we were lucky enough that we each got a bed. That was my second mistake, thinking we were lucky that we had 3 beds. Because it was very much a lottery. See, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna choose my bed first. I'm gonna choose the bed that's furthest away from the bathroom, the one that's closest to the front door. And, you know, you gotta pick and choose your battles. The front door is probably not the greatest in terms of security, but like, I also didn't want to be near the bathroom, you know? So I chose my bed. And, you know, what's the first thing you do when you choose a bed in a hotel room? You jump on. I have slept on floors more comfortably than that bed, okay? I have slept on floors. Heck, even the airplane was more comfortable than that bed. My sister, so like I said, there are 3 beds, right? Let's say there's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. I took the one that was over here. And I hopped on, and let me tell you, my tail hurt. I had an ouchie from jumping on that bed. The bed was that bed. So this had a hard bed. And then I was like, oh shoot, do we all have... In my head, I was like, oh my god, all these beds suck. They gave us like the room with the really sucky beds or something, or like every bed in this sucks, or whatever. And because then I also went over to my sister's bed. I went to my sister's bed, and her bed was also hard as a rock. Okay, so both of us had really, really hard beds. So my hip bone every night was like digging into the mattress, and it really hurt. But here's the thing, I actually didn't get it the worst. Believe it or not, I didn't get it the worst. So my bed was hard, but at least I had a nice fluffy pillow. This sister, she got it the best, okay? Her bed was nice and springy, and she had a nice fluffy pillow. Except she was by the washroom, but you know, whatever. She got a soft bed and a soft pillow. This sister, this one, she got it the worst. Her bed was hard, and her pillow was like this. She had to buff that pillow up with like her own clothes just to feel something. We put our pillows up next to each other, right? And if my pillow was like this, hers was kind of like this. So at least I didn't get the worst. If I had to choose, I got the second best, which, I mean, I guess it isn't the worst. Would have gotten the bed next to the bathroom. See, that's the thing. I thought all the beds were the same. So when I chose my bed, I actually didn't test out the other 2 beds, which was, you know, rookie mistake. What's that? No. Oh my god. Hey Mabel. Hey. But yes, I didn't get the worst bed. Definitely my sister got the best bed and my other sister got the worst one, so I can't really complain, I guess. Hi, Tissue. So that was another issue, right? What else happened? Oh yeah, and I don't know if anyone of you guys have flown on a plane, but you know how the airplane gets really dry, so then your hair and skin get really, really oily? So as soon as I got off the plane, right, I wanted to shower. I wanted to get all the oil and like grime and like airplane air off of me. But like I said, we had no shampoo, we had no conditioner. So that really sucked. That really, really sucked. Happy belated birthday, Tissue! Happy birthday! So that was just day one. Well, technically night one, because then we got there like really early in the morning. And so I messaged my mom, and she was like, oh, don't worry about waking up tomorrow. We don't have a set time for you to wake up. Just sleep until you naturally wake up. That was another mistake, believing my mother. So first, my mistake was believing my father. This time, my mistake was believing my mom. Because she was like, just sleep until you naturally wake up. You know, you were on the airplane for so long. You know, just sleep until you wake up, okay? So I went to bed at freaking... What time did I wait? I think I went to bed at 5 because I had to message my aunt that night. And my aunt said that she was messaging me until 5. So I went to bed at 5 in the morning. And at 9 in the morning, my mom was like, hey, anyone awake? We have food. So much for naturally waking up. Because apparently my aunt got us all rice noodles for breakfast, which is good because I liked rice noodles. So we ate that and we were like, okay, what's our plan for today? Are we gonna like, you know, explore the village, like explore the district? Are we gonna like, what's the deal? And my dad was like, we're going out to eat. And I was like, what's the point of going out to eat if we already ate? What was the rice noodles for if we're gonna go out to eat right now? Fuss. But you know, I'm not gonna complain because going up to Yamcha is like very much a social thing back there. So I was like, okay, you know what? Sure, where are we going to eat? And they were like, oh, we're going to this little restaurant and we're gonna pre-game breakfast. Yes. You know, I'm thinking back, I'm so glad for those rice noodles. Those rice noodles saved me from starving because that restaurant we went to, oh my god. Oh my god. Restaurant, guys. Guys, that restaurant. That restaurant will haunt me for the rest of my days. Because I thought we were gonna go out for dim sum, you know, like Yamcha dim sum, you know, get some steamed pork buns, get some more like rice noodles, get some, you know, chicken's feet, get some, you know, get some of that food. I thought it was gonna be that, because that's like just, I feel like that's very standard Chinese like dim sum. But no, as we got closer to the restaurant, I smelled something so bad, I thought it was the sewer. Like, my brother looked at me and he was holding his nose, and like we legitimately thought we were passing by a sewer. And then we walked into the restaurant. We walked into the restaurant. They took us to one of those like private rooms where like a few of my relatives were. And they were like, hey, we're here to drink vinegar soup, vinegar hot pot. And I was like, excuse me? I'm sorry, what did you just say? Because they just said we were going there to Yamto, which literally translates to drinking vinegar. I was like, what? And they were so excited. It was kind of like a hot pot situation where it's like we had this table and like people were like, you know, sitting here, there, here, and they were ordering all these little dishes, and then there was like a pot of basically vinegar in the middle of the table, and it stank so bad. It stank so bad. It was kind of like a mixture of like pig's feet and vinegar smell, and like they kept adding like chicken and like fish and stuff in there, and they're like, oh, do you want to eat some? Oh my gosh, this is so good. It's been so long since I've drank vinegar. Oh my god, when was the last time you had vinegar? When we were younger, we had so much vinegar and blah 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 blah. And I'm just here staring at my siblings like, guys, are we expected to drink this? Anyways, I had a sip. I didn't like it. I immediately said no. But all the rest of the food also wasn't really to my taste. I'm kind of a very basic girly. My two sisters are stronger than me, and they actually managed to drink it. At least one bowl of it. My aunt, who was next to me, she drank like 3 bowls and said it wasn't sour enough. So there's that, I guess. Anyways, we left the restaurant. Kind of disgusted. But it gets worse because that smell clung to our hair and it clung to our clothes. I was like, are we gonna head back to the inn so I can shower? Or what's the deal? Because like we were all smelling our clothes and we were like, oh no, we stink. We smell like the sewer. We legitimately smell like the sewer. Luckily, I don't think we immediately went out. I think we went back to the inn and I changed my clothes. I immediately changed my clothes. I was like, I'm not going out in this. There's no way in heck I'm going out in this. So we changed our clothes and then we visited relatives and blah, blah, blah. So that was basically that. Vinegar. Oh my god, I can smell it right now. Oh. Here's another thing about the smell there, right? Other than the whole vinegar thing, smoking is like a societal norm there. So like smoking is kind of like a social activity. And back in the homeland, everyone smokes. Everyone! Like, I feel like in the West, everyone's like, oh, you know, smoking's bad for you. Everyone, stop smoking, blah, 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 blah. You're gonna get black lung and da-da-da. You should stop smoking. Anti-smoking. Over there, smoking is such a norm that everyone smokes. Like here, it's like no smoking inside. But no, you can walk into a restaurant and there'll be people smoking in there. So imagine that vinegar smell along with people just like smoking and like the smell of cigarette smoke kind of like clinging to you. It was not good. Hi, Bora! You haven't been at many streams? It's okay, I haven't really streamed. I didn't stream at all for the last 2 weeks, so you haven't really missed much. How have you been? Hey, LP! My 5 cents of validation. Validation! Yes! Someone missed me! Someone was vaping in your class in school. See, at least, here's the thing with vaping, right? It sucks, I don't like it. But at least I can admit that it does sometimes smell good because like of how sweet it smells. Like I don't endorse it. But you know, if there was one plus, at least it smells sweet, you know? But cigarette smoke? Nuh-uh. So, and like if you go to like any store, like you go to a storefront, here, anyone who sells cigarettes or any sort of tobacco product, they have to hide it. Like they'll hide it like in a cabinet or whatever until someone like buys it and then they take it out of wherever they've hidden it. But over there, like the cigarettes are kind of like all out in the open. Like you can walk up to a counter, like the cashier will be here. And like this can be like the cash register. And like there will just be like cigarette packs like just displayed out like that for anyone to just look at and buy. So that was like, I see people smoking around like their kids, and I see like pretty young people smoking, like people who look, I don't know, like, well, I guess they would be adults, but they look pretty young to be smoking, and I'm like, what the heck? And like, you know, I was walking on the street one day, and there was like this guy smoking by a door, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go the other way so I don't have to walk past the smoking. So then I turned the other way, and there was 3 other guys smoking, and I was like, oh no! Like, for example, this is the street, right? I just exited this door, and I have to go this way, but there was a guy smoking here, like just here. So I was like, okay, I need to go over here. So I'm just gonna, you know, if there's someone smoking here, I'm just gonna go around this way and like, you know, go around the block to get like out like that. But I turned this way and there's like 3 other guys over here smoking. So I'm like, God. Oh my God. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go the trolley. Literally the trolley problem, okay? Am I gonna go through the 3 smokers or like the 1? I chose the 1. Obviously, I chose the 1. So I head towards this side, and I hold my breath and I run. I run this way, and over here there was like 5 other people smoking. And I'm like, oh my God, stop! Leave me alone! Like, there was just a bunch of guys on like their little motorcycle moped things just smoking, and I was like, no. Don't worry, Bella. Thank you for your validation as well. I know you missed me because I missed y'all. They do it for the fab. I feel like no one there was really doing it for the clout. I think they were just doing it because, you know, it's very much like a social thing. Like here, people go out for coffee, and then in the homeland, they don't go out for coffee. They go out for smokes together. So that was what I had to go through for like 2 weeks, which is trying to avoid like smokers. Literally surrounded. And we went to like, for basically every single day we went out to eat. We ate out with the relatives, right? And like I said, people smoke even indoors. Like even inside restaurants, people smoke. Like I can see like there's a no smoking sign. It'll say no smoking, and there will be someone smoking under it. So anyways, we were here again, and I was like sitting over here, you know, just eating as I do. And over here, there's like, you know, obviously another table with some other people. And over here, there's like another table with some other people. And I'm happily eating, you know. And then this guy lights up a cigarette. Literally right behind me. He lights up a cigarette. I lost my appetite. I lost my appetite. I couldn't continue eating. Silk Song DLC, is that to combat the Game Awards? 500 cigarettes. Literally, I feel like everyone there is a chain smoker. I saw this one woman who was trying to put her baby into a stroller, and she was smoking while doing it, and I was like, because like all of my anti-smoking whatever is, you know, not. Growing up, I just learned like, do not smoke. Do not smoke. It's bad for you. Do not do it. So going there and seeing all these people smoking, and like even around children, I'm like, what the hell? What the heck? What the heck? What the heck is going on? You know? So cultural clash. Definitely some cultural clash. What else? What else do I have? What else do I have to gripe about? I swear I had a good time, okay, guys? I'm just telling you all the stories of things I had to go through, because all the good stuff was mainly, you know, just hanging out with the relatives, you know, exploring the district, going to like various places and stuff. Obviously we had, like I said, it was a family emergency that we were there for, but you know, that was resolved pretty quickly. So after that we got to, you know, do a lot of the whole relative visiting, spending time with relatives that I've spoken to them before, but I've never met them. It was really embarrassing, guys. I was speaking to my aunt. I've spoken to her before on the phone. I know what she looks like. But we were out at like a mall, and she had messaged me telling me like, "Hey, I'll come meet you guys at the mall. I'll come right after work." And then later I get another message saying like, "Oh, I'm at the mall. Where in the mall are you?" And I was like, "Oh, we're on the 3rd floor or wherever the heck we were. 2nd floor? 3rd? I don't know." But I was like, "Oh, we're by the store." And she's like, "Okay, I'll come meet you there." And I walk outside, and there's this lady coming towards me, and I'm like, she looks familiar. And then I walk right past her. And then my mom, who was right behind me, she starts screaming because that was her sister who she hadn't seen in years. And those two are hugging, and I'm just here. They're like, "Oh, oopsie. My bad." And my mom's like, "Didn't you recognize your aunt? This is my sister. This is your aunt." And I was like, I thought you looked familiar. You're that kid who coughed in front of people who smoked to make them feel bad. Yes, Bella, do it. There's nothing more, what is it? There's nothing that will cut into you deeper than like a kid calling you out on something. At least that's what I learned. You could not deal with all that. I feel like my lungs have been changed forever. My lungs have been filled with so much like smoke and ash. Like it was kind of insane. I probably got a lifetime of secondhand smoke there. Oh, another thing that gave me cultural clash is the traffic. Wow, I'm really laggy right now. Oh, never mind, I smoothed up. Another thing that gave me cultural clash was the traffic. There are no traffic rules. There are no such things as traffic rules there. All the traffic rules are just suggestions. No one listens to the traffic rules, so the amount of times I almost got run over, I almost never came back to you guys, okay? I was so scared that first like couple of days because there are more like mopeds than there are cars. I don't know if it's like all of there or if it was just like, whatever, but there were so many mopeds, and mopeds like kind of rule the street, right? They are both on the sidewalk, they're on the road, they're going the wrong way on the road. Mopeds basically just go anywhere as long as they can get to their destination. So the amount of times like I would be walking on like a really thin, like I'll be walking like this, and then there'll be a car here. Cars just park anywhere, okay? Like, let me tell you, if there's a car, there could be a car like parked just like this, like right across here, like that. And like I would have to be the one to go onto the road and then go around just to get back onto the sidewalk. So imagine having to do that all while there's a stinking little like moped like just beeping at you coming this way. And I'm like, stop, I'm gonna get run over. They don't care. And if this is, like they take the road of like least resistance. They're like electricity that way. Mopeds are electricity. They just take the road of least resistance. So if it meant going against traffic, they will do that. Red light, well, if there's no one there, then I'm just gonna speed past the red light, And to be honest, remember when I said that, Destiny had to debuff me, otherwise I would be a really toxic gamer? I think I am definitely one of those people who have road rage. I don't even drive, but I know that if I was a driver, I would have road rage. Because by like the 4th day there, anytime there was like a moped driver honking at me, I was like, okay, well, what are you gonna do? Run me over? Screw you. Run me over, I dare you. and I would just like continue walking on my leisurely way while they're trying to honk at me. Of course, I didn't get to do that very much because, like, you know, my family wanted me alive. So they would be the ones to be like, move aside, there's someone coming. And I'm like, oh my god. Honestly, I just feel like if I was a driver, I would have hecka road rage. Sounds like home. Angry, but literally, I was getting so annoyed by all the honking. I was ready to throw hands. I was like there were a couple of times I told my sister, I was like, honk at me one more time, and you're like right beside me. You're on a vehicle with 2 wheels. What's gonna happen is I'm just gonna accidentally trip into your bike and you're gonna fall over into traffic. There were a few times where I thought that way. I was like, I didn't act on it, but I was just really frustrated because there was no road rules. You don't know if I want to find that out. Am I afraid of finding that out? Am I afraid of finding that out? But yeah, the traffic there was really scary until I got annoyed. And then I just got angry. Okay, back to the whole food thing, right? So we had the whole vinegar situation on day one. Day one we had the vinegar soup. Thank goodness we had rice noodles. And then for the second night for dinner, my aunt who lives in China, she took us out to this little shop. Like it was kind of like a nice little shop, you know. It looked kind of like one of those like family-run little shops. Again, there were a bunch of mopeds here, there. I almost got run over a few times on the way there as well, but you know, whatever. There were also no streetlights, so either I get run over or an accident is staged. I mean, an accident happens. But anyways, we went to this little beef noodle restaurant, and we got there and we each got like a bowl of, you know, beef noodles. Like there was like a bunch of beef over here, and then there was some garlic here, and then there was some stuff here, and it looked really good until we got to the meat. That meat was really tough. Like I couldn't bite through it, and I figured, you know, I'm weak. I won't lie to you guys, I'm weak. So I was like, okay, maybe I can't bite through this meat. Maybe my mom can. She could not. So basically, everyone at our table, we did our best with the meat. We ate all the noodles, we ate the peanuts, we ate basically everything but the meat. And, you know, my mom complained about it a little bit to my aunt. And she was like, oh, didn't you know at this restaurant, you can request for the meat to be softer. You can request for the meat to be more tender. And my mom's like, oh, great. Why didn't you tell us that before? You know, before we were there. But anyways, we were like, you know what? Whatever. I'm sure she'll take us to other places to eat eventually, right? Like, obviously, we're not just going to hit up the same restaurants every single time, right? We were back there the next day. We were back at the beef place the next day. And my mom was like, oh no, it's the really tough meat place. So she was like, okay, maybe we can ask for the meat to be softer. So we got the same noodle dish because that's kind of what they were known for. They were kind of known for that noodle dish. It was the exact same. We couldn't bite through the meat. We really couldn't bite through the meat. So again, we ate like rabbits. No meat. No meat. And you would think that that's the end of it, right? We were back there a third time. I looked at my sister that I was like, what is up with, you know, aunt in this place? Like, does she have a personal relationship with like the people who run this place? Like, what's the deal here? How hard could it... Okay, my standards of things being like tender versus rough is basically my dad, because I know that I'm weak, like I said. So if I can't bite through it, I'm just weak. So my dad came over and he was like, "Oh, why aren't you eating the meat?" Because, you know, my dad's kind of like our family garbage disposal. If we can't eat something, he'll usually eat it. So I was like, "Well, we can't bite through the meat." And so he takes like a piece of meat off of our plate and he bites into it, and like he gets through. But it's very telling when he bites through like one bite and then he puts the rest of it back down and he walks away. Because my dad is, you know, his love language is feeding us, right? If we're like, to show his love, he will be the one to feed us and everything. And he's always the one reprimanding us for, like, you know, not eating or not eating enough. So the fact that I left all this meat and he didn't even scold me once for it after taking a bite means a lot. Because if the meat was actually like okay to eat and he ate it, he would be telling me that I was like wasting meat and like, how dare I waste the meat and blah blah blah. But no, he took one bite and like he just kind of put it down and walked away. So in my opinion, that said a lot. That's one way to measure the toughness of meat. Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, that's how I measure it. But anyways, we were back there for a third time, right? And my mom, we were all really, really sick of it. Like, we were all really, really tired of this place because, you know, if we can't eat the meat, all we're basically eating is just rice, like just noodles without any protein. So my aunt ordered, and we were so done with this place that we all ended up just sharing one bowl. Like, me and my sisters, like the first time we were there, we each ate one bowl, but by the third time we were like, let's just share one bowl. Like, obviously we're not gonna be able to eat a lot, so let's just share one bowl. And my mom was very disgruntled because when the waitress came to get our order, she even complained to the waitress. She was like, 3 times we're here, every single time the meat is tough. And the waitress is like, oh, no, don't worry about it. Like, I'll tell the chef to make it like tender. You know, we've never had complaints about the meat being tough. And maybe us city folk are just weak compared to country folk. Maybe that's it. But she was like, oh no, the meat today is really soft. And like, my uncle comes by and he's like, yeah, I spoke to the chef today and he promises that the meat will be really soft. So my mom, really grumpily, she orders like a bowl of beef noodles. It was the same. We could not bite through that. We couldn't bite through it. I think that was the night my dad left, and then he came back with like a sack of like sweet potatoes. So in our room, we just ate sweet potato. Got him. Insert facepalm. Literally, we were like, oh my god. Like, you know, that's Shinji meme from Evangelion, the one where he's sitting on the chair with his hand. I actually think I have a picture of myself looking like that from the trip, where I just had like my hands in my, like, I just kind of looked. I have a picture from the trip of me just doing that, yeah. And then I don't remember which night it was, but it was also dinner, and we didn't know what to have for dinner, and it was pretty late, so we just stopped by like the small mom and pop shop, and we got wonton noodle soup, and that was really, really good. We really, really enjoyed that. So on our on our last night there, we were like, oh, let's just have wonton soup again, because we really liked that place. Plus, my sister wasn't feeling 100% well, so she liked the wonton soup, and it would be like, you know, easy on her stomach. So we were like, oh, let's get wonton soup. But no. I think I think that was the night we went back to the beef noodle place. And we were just kind of really sick of it. She was like, oh, you said you wanted wonton soup, so I ordered you dumplings. And we are like, that's not the same. That's not the same. That's really, really not the same. And then to round up all the food, the whole food saga, on our last day there, we wanted to go shopping at this like shopping center. You know, do some last minute souvenir shopping, you know? See if there's anything there we can get. So we left the inn, and obviously we had to eat. And so we left the inn, and I walked up to my dad and I was like, hey, where are we going to eat? And he looks at me and he goes, well, no, I asked my mom first. I was like, hey, what are we going to eat? And my mom's like, dim sum. And I was like, oh, cool, dim sum. Because we've had dim sum a couple of times in those 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, cool, dim sum for breakfast, lunch. And then we started walking, and I walk up to my dad and I was like, hey, where are we going for dim sum? And he's like, dim sum? We're gonna go drink vinegar. We're gonna what now? I'm sorry. We're gonna what now? Sir, did you just say what I thought you said? Because I could have sworn you said that we were gonna go drink vinegar. And he's like, oh, no, don't worry about the smell. We got a table like outside. It's not gonna be like inside the room where like the smell's gonna stick around. We're gonna be like in an outside room, and like you kids can have like a separate table. We'll have like one table, and we'll have one table where we're drinking vinegar, and you kids can be like at a different you kids, I'm still considered a kid. Everyone at that table was an adult. But you kids can have like another table where there's no vinegar. So it's like if this was the main restaurant where we were in like the first time, there was kind of like a little enclosed patio area. So like it was outside, but it wasn't really outside. So they had a table over here where they were drinking like the vinegar stuff, and we had a table over here where we weren't drinking the vinegar stuff, but we were still in the same space. And this entire restaurant drinks the vinegar stuff. Like, am I the only one who sees the problem here? Like, this was still technically like an enclosed space. It wasn't in the main restaurant, no, but it was still in like a side portion of the restaurant. There was just a bigger door to the outside, and it was all in like glass. So like, am I the only one who sees this problem? Am I the one who smells this problem? Like, hello? First of all, you ain't gonna speed past that like you did. Yeah, exactly. That's what I felt. Like, I literally stopped in my tracks and I looked at my sisters and I was like, shoot. we all looked at each other and we went, shoot. So we were like, okay, you know what? Maybe another mistake was, again, trusting my dad. I was like, okay, maybe we'll give dad the benefit of the doubt, because he'll be at a different table. We'll be at our table. You know, there's like a little, like one of those like standing like fans. So we turned that on and like, you know, we blew it back this way. So like maybe it's not gonna be so bad. Maybe, just maybe, right? Anyways, we ate, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna head to the shopping center. We walk outside, and the first thing we do, we check our clothes. We check our clothes. Two guesses what I smelled like, and the first guess doesn't count. We smelled so bad. Oh my god. We smelled so bad. It was humiliating. because not only did we smell bad, but instead of going back to the inn to change clothes, we went straight to the shopping center because the shopping center was right across the street. Hi, Sugar. Hello, hello. All right, Bella. Sleep well. I'll see you on another stream. I won't disappear that quickly. But yeah, we had to head to the shopping center like pretty much immediately after because it made no sense to go all the way back to the inn when the shopping center was right across the street. So this is where it gets humiliating, okay? Because we walk into the shopping center. We walk into a drugstore. It was like an open format drugstore where, you know, everything's like out in the open. There's like no like walls. So like at the end of the night, they would just like shutter it closed. So it was an open format, but we walk in and like, you know, we split up because I look at some things. My sisters look at other things. My mom's looking at other things. Oh my God. When we hear the shop assistant go like, does something smell around here? I think something smells like pig's feet around here. Just remembering those shop assistants conversation, just that's humiliation right there. And I'm like, so I'm smelling myself, I'm like, oh God. Oh my God, this. And my mom's like, there's no way we smell that bad. And I smelled her jacket and I'm like, oh no, it's bad. Oh no, it's bad. So like, you know, I actually left the store, okay? I went to a bench and I sat down for a little bit. And then I saw something inside the store that I was interested in. So I got back up and I went back into the store and I walked past the shop assistants and I was doing my best to avoid them as much as possible. Like I was skirting around them to make sure, you know, I was avoiding them. And you know those cartoonish conversations? I actually overheard one where it was two shop assistants, they were talking to each other and they were like, I told you I smell the pig's feet. And the other shop assistant's like, there's no way it's pig's feet. Why would it be pig's feet? And shop assistant one goes like, no, I swear it is. It just smells really bad in here. And I'm just here like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is, no. No. There's no way this is my life right now. Anyways, I went to go get a perfume and I sprayed myself down. Like I basically bathed myself in perfume. Like, did I buy a perfume based just on that? Listen. Yes. Yes. Thanks, Sugar. Thank you. I even come with a little hat. Ta-da! There we go. My little hat. But I like my ohoge, so I will take the hat off. Maybe that's why they smoke to get rid of the vinegar smell. Oh my God! Imagine. Can you imagine? Honestly, at that point, I kind of agree with them. I almost prefer the cigarette smell because vinegar just smells sour. It's like, it's like sweat and, you know, like the sour smell of sweat, but like in vinegar and not good. No. So in that case, I almost prefer like the cigarette smell. So that was the first store, right? And then the second store we went to, that one was like an enclosed store. So that one actually had like walls and like there was actually a proper, you know, I could draw it out for you. So this was what like the second store looked like, you know? Like you would go in and like, this is like a window. Like this is kind of like what more of like a standard store in a shopping center looked like. Whereas like the first one was kind of like just like this, where there wasn't really a door. Everything was just like, you know, you go in and you do shopping. So we walk into the more enclosed store. And I was doing my best to like stay outside as much as possible. And my sister, I didn't notice this because like I said, I was staying outside. I didn't notice this, but apparently the shop assistant, she saw them put on a mask before coming over to help us. Like, that's crazy. Like, in order to help your customers, they pulled on a mask to help the customers. I was like, no, I don't care what souvenirs we need to buy. I'm leaving. I gotta go. Smells like something rotted. Yeah. So I was like, I can't handle this. My face is not thick enough to handle this. So while my family was inside like shopping, I was standing outside like this, just on my phone. I couldn't really do much on my phone. Like I said, I downloaded a bunch of like Hardy Boys books and stuff. So I was just doing that. So I was just out there, and my dad comes by, and we're talking, and I'm like, oh my god, Dad, we smell so bad. There's a reason why we didn't want to drink the vinegar before going shopping. And my dad goes like, oh, the smell? That's such a manly smell though. Like, it's such a good smell. It's very manly. And I was like, are you for serious right now? Like, is this man serious? And then while we were over here, obviously, there are other stores around, whatever, and then like there's like a little booth here, and then there were a couple of like mall workers here, and I just hear them going like, they were saying something about a smell, and I was like, oh no, we're stinking up the entire shopping center. I can't do this anymore, guys. Can we go home? Please, I just want to go back, shower. Oh no! Oh no! The fact that basically every single worker in the mall is talking about a smell, and I'm just here like, it was us all along. There's no way this is happening right now. But yeah, I got to the point where like even my sisters, they were like, my sister's a bit of a shopaholic, but even she couldn't handle it. She was like, nope, we're heading back. We're done shopping. Goodbye. We're sorry. They're gonna ban us from the shopping mall forever. Goodbye. You fool, that had me immune to headpads, but now you don't have it anymore. Come here. No! Psych. I like headpads. All according to Kikaku. Give me those headpads. Headpads, please. We were the stink bomb. Yeah. Oh my god. I don't think I could ever go back to that shopping center. No way. Humiliation ritual. Humiliation ritual. For real. And then what else happened? So we went back, and like my clothes from like the first vinegar incident, all of that, we washed all of that. We washed all of the clothes except for the jackets, because the jackets, we only had a really small washing machine, so we couldn't wash the jackets. So the jackets were still being hung up. So we actually didn't wash our jackets until we got back to here. So all of that was being hung up by the window, doing its best to, at least air out some of that vinegar smell. Kiriko's Bizarre Adventure. Honestly, it kind of feels like it sounds like a fever dream, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound kind of insane? I feel insane just talking about it, to be honest with you. Because what the heck? You know how online people go like, oh, no one's experience is original. Everyone has experienced the same thing. Like, I doubt anyone has really experienced being humiliated by an entire mall because of the way they smelled. And the way they smelled wasn't even like BO, it was vinegar. If I do not smell like rose cherry blossoms, that is not a manly smell. It was kind of funny because once we got back home, the first thing we did was we did so much laundry. Guys, we did so much laundry. And my sister was doing my dad's laundry, and my dad also had his jacket. And my sister had taken a picture of the jacket, and she was like, "Dad, do I wash your jacket? Because if I do, your manly smell will disappear." And I had to laugh. That was so good. She was like, "Maybe I shouldn't wash your jacket, you know, just so you can smell manly." And I was like, "That's so petty. That's so good. I love you." And then what else? What else? Oh, another thing is that so everyone there, they pay via like mobile payments, right? Like, you know, Apple Pay, Alipay, WeChat wallet, and stuff like that. And because we were just there for a visit, I didn't have, I mean, like I had my bank cards and stuff. I had my bank cards and everything, but I didn't have like, but my parents had given me spending money like in cash. They were like, "Oh, use the cash. That way, like, any sort of transaction won't have like the conversion rate and stuff. So use the cash." So here's the problem, right? Is that the cash they gave us was a mixture of like fresh bills and bills that look like they belong in a museum exhibit. So some of the cash was like, you know, it looks like fresh off the press, you know, like, you know, like fresh off the press type of bills. And then other bills looked kind of more like it's been through like rain, snow, like there's like a couple of chunks missing. And like some of them are from like the 1900s. Like this one would be from like the 1900s or whatever. And obviously stores, first of all, stores are used to people paying on their card, so they don't have to deal with like cash or change and stuff. But when they do, they're more used to like these type of bills. And here we are trying to hand someone this type of bill. And they're like, "We can't take this, sorry." And we're just there like, "Oh, you can't?" And they're like, "No, do you have anything newer?" So here I am with like a stack of just like some, like a few bills that look like I said, these bills are probably worth more. Let's be real. These bills are probably worth more because they belong in a freaking museum exhibit about like ancient, like the ancient times. I'm just saying. My sister said the funniest thing. She was like, "That's not a bill. That's Aladdin's magic carpet." And that made me laugh a lot. That was great. So anyways, we finally found a store that could use that, and let me tell you, we basically spent all of our bills at that store because that was the only store that would take like those old bills. But that was rough. Having to pay for anything, and there was a language barrier because I'm not fluent. So that was great. Overall, great time. 10 out of 10 would go again. Just maybe not under those circumstances. Maybe not at that inn. Maybe not with those food. I'm just saying. Was there anything else? I feel like there was like a few other things that happened that was like pretty funny. What do I think about the next cookie? Oh, is the next one the Millennium Tree? Dang, I haven't logged into Cookie Run in like 3 weeks now. Oh no, I haven't logged into Cookie Run in 3 weeks. The wicked. No. Ugh, I don't have Glinda. Shoot. When's the update? You said in 2 days? Frick, I don't think I can get Glinda in 2 days. Dang it. Well, hopefully I get Glinda. I'll log in later and see where we're at. But yeah. If everything was different, would do again. Yes. I think my cousin is planning to go back there next year, and I think he invited us. I say I think because I think he invited us through my mom. So I might have to double check on that. But he's planning to visit the the big cities, not the country villages that I was in. So maybe things will be different. Hopefully, maybe things will be different. I don't know. At least I hope it would be, but I can't really say for sure. What else? So much has happened. Honestly, at the time, like living through it at the time sucked, but being able to tell these stories now, it's really funny. Actually, no, I actually took notes on things that happened. I'm gonna freeze for a second so I can pull up my notes. Let me pull up my notes so that I can take a look at things I wanted to... interesting things that happened. Okay, there we go. Let me take a look at these notes. Oh, so there was like there's like a pretty not famous but like a popular shopping street there that my aunt wanted to take us to. Because she lives there, she was our tour guide. So she was gonna take us to like this shopping street, except she didn't tell us where we were going. She just told us we were going shopping, so we were expecting like a shopping center or a shopping mall. So we were walking down the street and there were all these little shops and we were like, oh, that's so cute. We should go take a look at this, take a look at that. But we felt like our aunt was being impatient, so we were like, oh, she must really want to show us like this shopping center. So we basically skimmed through all the little shops, even though we were really interested in all those shops, just to find out that street was the destination. My aunt and dad are just cut from the same cloth. They just don't like shopping. That's why they were so impatient. So we felt like we lost out on a lot of time, like, looking at the shops and everything. But it was fun. And there was this one landmark. That my mom wanted to get a picture of me in front. So, it's like one of those things that say like, oh, I love this location. I love this city. Like there was like a billboard. Oops. There was a billboard that was like, I heart, like the I heart New York type of things, right? So she wanted to get me in front of that billboard, except it was an electronic billboard and the display was always changing. So by the time like she was done posing us, the billboard had changed. And it had changed to a Durex advertisement. So that was kind of embarrassing. If you know, you know. We ended up not being able to take a picture in front of the I Heart This Place billboard because, the display just never came back. But, I'm sure Durex is a close second. Oh my god, why am I having such a hard time with this ribbon? There we go. Most important question, did I get a I love vin? No! If I get it, I would just be getting it to burn it. There we go. Cute! Maybe I should have gone red with that. Dang it! Okay, you know what? Let's go red for that. Yeah. Where was I going with that story? Oh yeah, it was very much like an open, like pedestrian shopping where it's like a bunch of little shops along a street instead of like a shopping mall situation, which was, which was fine. Except I really needed to go to the washroom. And considering this was like just a bunch of little tiny like mom and pop looking little shops, there was no washroom inside each one of those shops. So here I am. I was just holding it because like, I thought we were going to be hitting up a shopping center where I could then go to the washroom. Luckily, as we were walking along the street, I saw a little like bathroom sign and it was pointing me towards this little alleyway. And you know what? I was desperate enough to go down that really suspicious looking alleyway for the washroom. So I was gonna go alone, but then turns out my sister needed to go to the washroom too. So she was like, I was like, great, we can go to the washroom together. And she was like, great, where's the washroom? And I pointed towards that little tiny itty bitty alleyway that was kind of dark and kind of suspicious looking. But I was desperate enough. Anyway, so we went down this little tiny alleyway, and it was kind of like, how do I explain it? So if this was like the main street, oops, and there were all these like little shops and stuff and shops, and then there's like a little sign attached to like the awning that was like, bathroom this way, in this like itty bitty tiny alleyway. So we walk into this alleyway, and it was a really narrow alleyway. Like I think it was kind of like a, two people can stand in it side by side. But it was also really dark and everything. And we got there and I was like, okay, where is this alleyway? Because this alleyway low-key looks like it's walking into a residential area, and that's kind of sus. Because if you have like all these like commercial, like, oops, wow, my writing. Like if this was a commercial street, but then this alleyway leads into like a residential area, just for over here to also be like a commercial street, where are all the houses? Like, why is there a home here? Like, I don't think you guys will understand like just how small this area was, that I was really just confused where the residents were when there were like door plates and everything, and I was just really confused. But anyways, we walk into that little alleyway and we weren't entirely sure we were going the right way, even though it was just like kind of a straight line. It kind of went like that. And over here, it said, oh, washroom 100 meters. And I was like, okay, cool, 100 meters. So I walk a little bit more, and over here it said washroom 100 meters. And I was like, that sign over there said it was 100 meters. Now I have to walk another 100 meters? Like, what's the dealio here? Like, what's, huh? So we walked all the way down here, and then we stopped and we were like, okay, I can see the other end of the alleyway at this point, and I don't see a washroom. So let's just head back. Maybe I can hold in going to the washroom for a bit longer. And then, like, these other couple of women walk up to us and they were like, hey, are you looking for the washroom? And I was like, yes, we are looking for the washroom. And they're like, cool, us too. And I was like, oh, great. And they're like, never mind, we'll just leave. So then they left and I was like, oh, okay. I literally thought they were going to tell me where the washroom was. But you know, a couple of like men walked by and it was kind of suspicious because I didn't want to be out here in like a suspicious alleyway and like, you know, ask like random men where the washroom was. And you know, I'd rather ask a woman or hold it in. So we walked back the way we came, and there was like luckily there was like a female shop owner over here, and in my very, very broken language, I was like, washroom? And then luckily she spoke Cantonese, which is the one that I spoke, and she was like, oh, just go this way. And I was like, that way? And then she's like, yeah. And then once you hit like this section, walk a little further and then turn left. And I was like, turn left? She's like, yeah. So I walked back this way with my sister, and like I said, this is where we stopped. We stopped right here, and literally she was right. 2 more steps this way, like 2 more steps this way, if I turned to my left, the washroom was right there. The washroom was like right there. And I was like, oh my god, I went through all that for nothing. The spooky ones in survival horror games where you don't really want to, but you need to. Yes! Yes! That was exactly what the alleyway reminded me of. It's like a horror game, like alleyway, and the washroom was even worse because there was no working lights in there. There was like no working lights. So the entire thing was dark, and I don't know if you guys know this, but there, because it's so rural, everything is a squatty potty. Like there's no like regular toilets like this. Everything is like on the floor. You just have with a hole here, and you just have to squat and go. So imagine doing that in like a completely dark room where everything looks like it looks like no one has been in there. It was kind of like a horror movie type of washroom. It was dark. Thank God that a worker happened to be on her rounds, and she was there to like check on the you know, the garbage bins and everything in the washroom, because otherwise I would be scared heckless. Okay, that place was, the floor looked so grimy and everything, considering this was a public bathroom on like, you know, a pedestrian street. It was kind of really grimy, and I was like, I'm gonna burn these shoes when I come back. Once I get back, I'm burning these shoes. Because then like afterwards I took a look at my shoes, right, and there was like a streak of red on them. I was wearing white sneakers. Dumb idea, I know, but you know, I found a streak of red that wasn't there before, and I was like, oh, I need to burn these. I'm not touching these after this. I'm not touching these. No, 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 no. And then my sister was like, well, maybe you can get back home and you can like pressure wash them. And I looked her straight in the face and I was like, sister, you cannot pressure wash a biohazard. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not touching these shoes. I don't know what this red streak is, and because I'm pretty sure it's not jam. Anyways, we went running back out to the pedestrian street where my mom was waiting, and she was like, what took you guys so long? And I was like, things happened. All we could say was like, don't worry about it, things happened. But hey, at least we know where there's a washroom. A dimensional alley between worlds. I almost preferred that. Oh my god. The cultural shock of growing up in Okinawa and seeing one of those for the first time. Yeah, the only like actual toilet I went to was the one at our inn, all the other ones, even the ones in the airport, I think the airport, and the ones in the shopping centers, they're all squatty potties. And here's another thing. None of them had toilet paper. No public toilet, not at the restaurants, not at the shopping center. Well, select shopping centers, but most of the shopping centers, they don't have toilet paper. Like even at restaurants, if you're eating at a restaurant, they don't give you napkins. You have to bring your own. So anytime we went out, we just kind of had like a purse full of like TP and like Kleenex and everything. So my purse was just kind of full. It had my wallet, it had my phone, it had my portable charger, and then it had a bunch of paper. I need to fire cleanse them. Literally, that's what I'm saying. I need to burn them. Sure was some things, yeah. Not surprised. I was surprised. I was surprised. I was expecting them to, at least give me some toilet paper. But I feel like after the first night, I shouldn't have been so surprised, especially if like the inn didn't give us toilet paper. I feel like I should have expected that they didn't give us toilet paper elsewhere. But, you live and you learn. So, yeah. Oh boy, what can I even say about that, right? So if you guys ever go to the 5-star moon, make sure you bring your own Kleenex. I mean, you can buy it. You can buy it, but it's also helpful to bring your own, and remember to take it with you when you go out. What was the coolest thing I saw there? The coolest thing I saw there. Well, I saw a tower. It's a pretty famous tower. I feel like that's all I can really say about that. I feel like that's all I can really say about that without really. But yes, there was a tower, and it was kind of cool. I wish we could go up to like, how like some towers have like the observation deck where you can like also hook yourself up to a grappling hook and like walk around. I kind of wish I did that. Except we didn't, which kind of sucks. Luckily, I'm not scared of heights, so I think that would have been really cool. But I feel like I would have been the only person to go there, so never mind. We just went and we saw the tower though. Since we were in the country, no, it wasn't like country as in like, farm. It's more like factory, rural country land, not really like lush farm land, country land, if that makes sense, where like, there's still a lot of dust and pollution there. Apparently that entire district used to be farmland, but then industrialization came, and they're not like big city. Like there's still a couple plots of farm here and there, but definitely there's still definitely a lot of pollution. So unfortunately, no, not to the stars. Would have been really nice though, to be able to see the stars, moon. Yeah. What else? So much happened. There were a few other things. Oh. Like I said, my dad's not huge on shopping, right? He's very much like, whenever we go shopping, he's the one who will He's definitely, you know, like the whole boyfriend stands outside holding the bags. He's definitely that kind of guy. So he's not really into shopping. He loves it when we go shopping because it means we're having fun. But he's also very impatient. He just wants to go home. So his ideal family outing is basically him sitting down on a bench somewhere on his phone while the rest of us are out sightseeing and stuff. So one day after we were done everything, we were gonna head back to the inn, and my aunt was like, "Oh, look, a night market. We should head through the night market." So we head through the night market, and my brother really wanted like tanghulu. So they were waiting in line for tanghulu, and my dad was like, "Oh, great! So we're getting some snacks and we're heading back to the inn, right? That's perfect." And my aunt was like, "We're at a night market. We need to walk around." And my dad's like, "Haha, oh, silly me! I totally forgot." Hee hee. And then he looks at me and he goes, ah. Like he just gave me the face. He definitely did not forget we weren't just there for the tanghulu. He was really trying hard to like just go like, maybe we can head back to the inn. He tried. He failed. But you know, we had a good night overall. He got us some food. Like I said, his love language is food. So he got us some mango. That was nice. Oh, and sugarcane water. Sugarcane water is so good. Growing up, I would just chew on sugar canes. It was very yummy. Would recommend if you guys have a chance to have sugar cane. Where you just like shuck the sugar cane and you just chew on it. Very yummy. Erase this. There are a few other stories that I wish I could tell you guys. It's just a little bit too personal, which sucks. But maybe one day I'll be able to tell you guys. There we go. Rookie, you chew on anything. Fair enough. Oh, you know what really sucked? Since I was going somewhere new, I kind of really wanted to try, you know, like the local delicacies and stuff, other than the vinegar. You know, I wanted to try, you know, their McDonald's. You know, I feel like everyone has heard that, you know, McDonald's overseas are usually like different from Western McDonald's and everything. So I kind of really wanted to try like overseas McDonald's, but again, like I said, my dad's love language is food, so he always had food for us, which meant that, you know, I would feel bad buying anything else to eat without having eaten what was given to me first. But that also meant that with the amount of food my dad was giving me, I couldn't justify going out and buying food. So I think that was like one regret that I had, which was just not trying many local delicacies or like local restaurants and stuff. Like, why did we have to go back to that beef noodle restaurant 3 times and the vinegar place like twice? Like, couldn't we have, you know, tried out a few other places? Surely there were other places that we could have gone to, right? Did I try Coca-Cola? No. Because that's the best place? Oh. Who are you? My aunt? Cute. Okay. Okay. What can I do to make this look more chick-like? What can I do to make this look more chick-like? Do chicks have eyebrows? I don't know. This one's getting some anyway. We can, what else? Here's the thing. I'm a pretty small person. Sometimes, like, even in the West, even if I go for extra small, that clothes don't usually fit me because it's still a little bit too big. Sometimes, like, the height will be perfect, but like the waist would just be a little bit too wide, so I have to pin it. So because we went back to the homeland, my mom was like, oh, this is perfect, we can find clothes that will fit you. You know, like, you can wear new clothes and stuff, something that will actually fit you without, like, you know, you having to pin it. But like, none of the style there was like really something that I was really into. So we finally found this little shop that had clothes that fit me, but like none of the style was my style. And my mom was just so fed up. She was like, listen, you can't be choosy. You can't be choosy. You just need clothes. Because, guys, I have like three pairs of actual pants, like outside pants that I rotate between. Everything else is skirts because skirts are easy. Skirts and leggings and tights, those are easy because, you know, tights, you have to stretch them out, and skirts, you don't really have to worry about the length much, just the waist. So I can get away with like kids' clothes most of the time, but I only had like 3 pairs of pants because pants, they have to be like the right length and the right width. So my mom just looks at me dead in the face and was like, you can't be picky, you need pants. So I just ended up with like, I found 1 pair of pants that fits me like pretty much perfectly, and I basically got like 3 other pairs the same color. Hi VG, you can relate. Shopping is hard. Like, it's true. Like, people who are like plus size and people who are like too petite have it pretty rough, I think. You know, like all those memes of like, oh, you know, like, your name is so petite and she's so small and she's not like other girls. You don't want to be too small. Being too small is rough. It's so hard to go shopping for clothes and nothing looks good. You have 2 pairs of pants for outside. The problem is I have 3 pairs of pants, but 2 of them are jeans. And I have to go to work. So I basically would just wear a bunch of skirts, and then like every once in a while I'll wear like the 1 pair of pants that are kind of like workish appropriate. Luckily my work is pretty liberal in that like I can wear jeans, except it's mainly on Fridays that we're supposed to be allowed to wear jeans. Which is why I'm like, you know, on days that I don't want to wear a skirt, like I kind of want to have like the option of pants that's also not jeans. I don't like these feet. Maybe I don't know what to do with these feet. You have that struggle with shirts, your shoulders are a bit wide, so you need bigger shirts, but then they're too long. Yeah! For me, like, I feel like I have shorter legs, so sometimes something will fit and then like it'll just not look good on me because it's made for people with like longer legs. And I think I also kind of have broader shoulders. So I also have that issue where like I also can't wear things like halter tops and stuff. Not that I like halter tops, I kind of hate them actually. I hate turtlenecks and stuff that goes around the neck. I feel like I'm being strangled. But you know, even if I wanted to, I couldn't, because it would feel I would feel like it'll accentuate, like it'll make the shoulders look even broader. I don't like, what do chick feet look like? Like, can I just go like, I guess like that. Canonically, I have perfect height for head pads. Oh my god. I guess so. I feel like not many people head pat me because, you know, I'm an adult. But I'm always down for head pads. Maybe I should put that on my Christmas list. Head pads. I feel like that's gotta be good enough. I can't spend too much time on that. You have too many dark clothing, so for Christmas you're asking for money to buy clothing. Here's the thing, I haven't bought clothing in so long that I feel like if I find something that fits me, I'm gonna have to buy it. Obviously, I'm not gonna buy anything that's like designer because honestly, I feel like designer clothes are not worth it. But my mom's right, I can't afford to be too picky. You forgot Christmas is coming? Because I was away for so long, I feel like my entire family has not put up like our Christmas tree or anything. Perfect star. Then I can go here and I can round it out. Like that. Well, that kind of looks like a flower, but you know, whatever. And then I can just select that and then move that. Is that star big enough? No, it's not. I'll just enlarge that and then I'll just move it to the top of the tree like this. And that's how you get a star, y'all. There we go. By the way, have I played? I have not. I haven't, because I just got back, like, when did I get back? I just got back. I've been very jet lagged. I slept. I had like 4 hours of sleep last night, so I'm kind of really tired right now. Except I had a bit of caffeine, so which is what's keeping me running right now. Plus, I need to. Anytime that I'm not trying to take a nap or like trying to keep awake or anything, I'm out here like trying to complete basically like these doodles, these Christmas doodles in time for Christmas. Oops. But I think I'm gonna log in like after the stream, after dinner, because I forgot about Glinda. I still need Glinda. I'll be so sad if I don't get Glinda, but you know, it is what it is. Do I want Christmas lights? You know what? I'll do Christmas lights. That's good. That's good. there's a lot of new things coming up. Other than Millennial Tree, what else is coming up? Okay. Red. Red. Blue. Blue. Green, I think. Oh, that's not a good blue. Oh well. Green. And then yellow are the standard Christmas colors. Millennial Tree is going to be a support. Oh, I think I saw somewhere that Millennial Tree would be the first support legendary. Crystal Gem for Wind Archer. Okay. New clothing for Mystic Flower. Okay, I'm not gonna be too excited about the clothing because the skin I got for Flower already looks bomb. I already love it, so I don't know if I would want to change it out depending. Oh shoot! Thank goodness for undo. I just almost did all that. Cute. Okay, now I just need to ship mini game returns. Oh, I feel like I wasn't a huge fan of that one. I don't remember though. The new one is so good. Really? Hold up. Give me a moment. No, that's not it. Why light? Okay, Millennial. Oh, it's Squid. The Great Deep Sea War. Crystal Gems. Oh! That's Mystic Flower? What? That doesn't even look like her anymore. What? That doesn't even look like Mystic Flower anymore. She looks so lotusy. Mystic Flower is getting a lot more love than the others. Yeah, didn't she just come out with a costume? The one that I just got? What the heck? When AK Enfield drops next year, Cookie Run's gonna be forgotten. You know what? That's fair enough. Good luck on Enfield. Mystic Flower is the one with Dark Cacao. Yeah! Right? It is! That's the... That doesn't look like her. Nani? Nani? But But you know what? Looking at that right now, like she looks beautiful, but I think I still prefer the current costume that I have on her. I think if I had to choose, I would still choose the one that I have on her. I feel like this one just doesn't feel like her. I feel like it just feels too like celestial, if that's a good word. Like it kind of looks like she's cosplaying as someone she's not, if that makes sense. Red. So I think I still prefer like the black costume I have on her. I'm so glad I got that one. Like if I like both hers and Dark Cacao's, but I think that down to the wire, if I had to choose, I would have chosen hers. And then I can. What the heck? Why is that not showing up? Oh. Okay. Can I do that? There we go. A little bit of... Oh, it doesn't show up on stream. Oh well. I swear I've been doing things right. Oh, hard light, linear light. Vivid? Hard light, not bad. That's bad. There we go. Yeah, isn't that almost every Beast official AU costume? I guess so, but you know, I think I still prefer the other one. Kind of reminds me of Eternal Sugar's costume. What does Eternal Sugar's costume look like again? Oopsie. Eternal Sugar. Oh, I think the hair. I think the hair kind of reminds me of it. But no, I know, I get what you mean. The vibe is definitely there. It's just not as pink. Eternal Sugar's is like vibrant, like bright pink. And hers is more like lotus colors. So yes, I know exactly what you mean by that. Mystic Flower is smiling genuinely for once in her life. Is she though? But yeah, I no. Mystic Flower is not the type to like hide behind a fake smile, so I think you're right. But you know what? I think I know what's wrong here. Aren't chicks usually drawn with... Hold on. I feel like they're usually drawn with like black hair, aren't they? Like this? Does this look more like a regular chick? I don't know. What else could I do to make this look a little bit more Christmassy? Do I move the entire thing down and draw a little Christmas hat on it? Or do you think this is good enough? Wait, what the heck is that? Wait, where the heck is this one coming from? Oh, heck. There we go. There we go. Like, do I... Like if I were to flesh it out, do I? Or does this look too dumb? I think this looks too dumb. No. You know what? I'm just gonna get on with the coloring. There we go. But yeah, I have 2 days to get Linda. This is gonna be a rough 2 days. Considering I also haven't slept. No! It was kind of funny because I was gonna do my best to fight the jet lag, but then as soon as I came back, I had friends going like, "Hey, there's gonna be a pop-up shop. You want to come with us?" And I was like, "You know what? What the heck? Sure." There we go. And then, I need a job. I need to somehow draw a ball again. You know what? I can do this. Wait. I'm just gonna lighten that color. And then... do this. Like that. Work. There we go. A little round yellow ball. I have more time to get Glinda? Really? Wait, when does that end? Timer ending. Oh! It ends... Oh, it ends end of the year! Perfect! Great! Oh my god, that makes me feel better. Yo, that makes me feel so much better. Thank you, VG. Your first AU idea when it came to career was the Beast minions, but with the correct soul down with the Beast. Favorite AU was the Jelly Walker Apocalypse. Like, costume AU? Yellow, yes, a yellow ball. Because my friend likes chicks. Beep beep. Then help, your toes are freezing and you already have socks on. There's nothing I can do to help. Set them on fire. Set your toes on fire. That's gotta be how it can work, right? Disclaimer, do not do that. Oh man, okay. Almost poof. There we go. There we go. I feel like I need to sneeze. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I feel like I need to sneeze. There we go. Actually... Wait, would it be cute if I turned them into a little ornament? Wait. I feel like that would be really cute. If I turned this little guy into an ornament. Like if I just went like... you know, like, are you guys seeing the vision? Like, is this visioning? Wait, so what? I don't really know what an ornament looks like. Like, is this a vision or am I blind? And then I can go here, and then if I go like something like this. You know, like something kind of like this. I'll cover that up, but I think that's kind of what an ornament looks like. Kind of. This is a completely different color. Am I messing up my color theory somehow? Hold on. There we go. Like something like that. And then I just need like... What color are the strings? Usually gold, right? So I just need yellow again. Like that. Oh my god, wait, this is kind of cute. Oh look, I'm frozen. Red? Like that? Wait, this is kind of cute. Okay, and then I can do a little bit of shading. If I went with like a pinky color. Do a little bit of pinky. Let's do a little bit of like darken that up. Let me try something. That kind of pinky or oops. Which one was better, guys? Like this? Like the big blushy? Or the little blushy? Big blushy or little blushy? And what color should the wrapping paper be? I feel like it can't be yellow because the chick's already yellow. Blue? A nice little light blue? Maybe? Oh wait, I messed up on that over there. Oh well. I feel like blue would work. What about white? Is there a poll? Nah, I feel like there aren't enough people for a poll. Just shout your answers out. Shout your suggestions out at me. That? I feel like the background's already white, which is why I didn't want to go with white. I'm thinking maybe blue. Because I don't think I'm going to do anything about the background. Because let's say I shrink it to this. I'm planning to do something else with it. Maybe I'll give it a floor. I feel like I also need a tree skirt. That's what people usually do with Christmas trees, right? Like they give it a skirt. Like they just go like, wee! I don't know what a tree skirt is. I may have a Christmas tree, but I don't have a tree skirt. My Christmas tree is just buck naked. Oh wait, I forgot to color this part in. Hold up. Oh no, I didn't forget to color it. I colored over it, dummy. There we go. And then if I were to go like that. Something like that. Something like that, I think is what a tree skirt usually looks like. All right, like that. Whatever. Just make a pattern on it. I think I'll do polka dots. I was gonna do yellow polka dots, but my entire bird's already yellow. Polka dots. Purple polka dots. Oops. I feel like this one doesn't fit here. You don't belong here. Like that. Maybe something like that. Kind of cute. And then for this, I'm gonna move this all the way to the bottom. And then I should have some ornaments on this, so I think I'm gonna use the same colors as this and just go for it. That. I'm gonna bring the polka dots all the way up like that. Are there any other types of ornaments? Red polka dots. Every time I think of red polka dots, especially with this much yellow, it reminds me of Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Please tell me you guys know what that is. You know what? I think this is good enough. I don't want to overwhelm it with too much color. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll make another layer. And then let's use a nice brown. Do I have a nice brown? Is this straight? Maybe. And then lighten the color. There we go. That's cute. I think that's cute. The spiral white ones. Like I said, I don't want to use too much white, so I think this should be good enough. It just kind of sucks because I feel like I did less work on that one than like these other two. Oh well. So 1, 2, 3. I think I'll do. I was gonna do a Kirby one, but that can be later. I think I can probably work with 3 for now. I think. Yeah, I feel like this is fine. The other two, I feel like I put so much effort into, and then this chick is just like a ball. Ugh. Oh well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I put effort into them all, so. The problem is I don't really know what a chick looks like. I didn't really pull up a reference picture for a chick because I figured like a round ball would be cuter than like if I tried drawing an actual chick. Will I regret that? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe I should. Do chicks have tails? Do chicks have tails? Yes, chicks have tails. They start as tiny nubs. Okay. So I can draw that a bit bigger then. Man, I was missing it. So I'll just go like this. Oh, wait, this is kind of cute. It's a little tail. And then I'm gonna go like. I don't know if I like that. I think I might just keep it like this. I think this is kind of cute. I think this is cute. Yeah. Do I find it cute? Or should I have it up here? Whatever. I think this is fine. I think this is okay. Anyways, there we go. Yeah, a nice reddish color. Bluish. No, not purple. I think I'll go with this brown. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Okay, at least I got something accomplished other than yapping today. Alrighty, I'm gonna go eat dinner. I accomplished something today. Yippee! Alright guys, thanks for spending time with me. Thanks for listening to me yap for this long. I feel like I talk so much. You did a candy apple drawing on a collage that took you weeks to do. You know what? It's effort. Effort. Yes, I'm back. I'll start having other like streams again soon. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat dinner. You guys have a good rest of your day, good rest of your night. I don't know what the next stream will be, but we'll see. Thank you for listening to me rant. I swear I had a good time, okay? I swear I had a good time on my trip. It wasn't just me ranting about vinegar and everything. I swear I had a good time. Once I think about those good times, I'll let you guys know. But yes, have a good rest of your day, rest of your night. Thanks for being here. Ta-ta!